Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. If you saw the thumbnail, yes, I am planning to do the very first live I have ever done with this channel. And I was going to wait until we hit 100,000, but I'm going to do it now. We're close enough. So here I am telling you now in advance that I am planning to do this live on Friday the 29th at 11 o'clock Pacific time, 2 o'clock Eastern time, so you can figure out whatever the time frame is. And I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay on there. I'll plan on at least an hour where I will devote to it. I'm sure that I will stumble or mess something up, absolutely. And my rooster Stan is probably going to be annoying and want to take over the show. And for those that have ever saw the cat video, when my cat actually came in here and jumped up, that's probably going to happen because those are the things that are going to happen to me. I'm already guessing. So anyway, I wanted to just reach out, let you guys know that I'm planning on doing the live, and also front load that I'm going to do the best I can to fumble through it and answer the questions and all that good stuff. For those of you that know me, I'm not the greatest reader in the world, so there's that. A lot of this stuff I do from my cell phone, so I have a whole different setup so I can do the live and actually read the print in the comments, because from a cell phone it's just not going to work. So I have that set up for you as well, so I can kind of get through it. And with that, I appreciate any thumbs up and subscriptions. And look, if you want to support the channel in other ways, you can do that by becoming a member. Going to the homepage, you'll see the highlighted members there, and you can definitely hit the join button and support the channel that way. I do appreciate all you members. And just to make this video a little more, I guess, informative, I'm going to run through a couple things here for you with just kind of my thoughts on the submitting a claim aspect and what's the most important thing to kind of think about when you think about filing a VA claim, and what are some of the hang-ups, and just kind of walk you through it just to give you something additional to kind of chew on. I've done these videos in the past, but they're always good to get out there for folks that just don't know. So the first and foremost thing that I tell folks when they have never filed anything with the VA with regard to VA compensation is, number one, you need to just clear your own mind out of any misperceptions that you may have, right? You might think you know the answers, and you might think you know what the VA is looking for with regard to disability compensation. But the reality is that a lot of us have our kind of predetermined, I guess, definition of different things that the VA talks about. Two of my favorite, in not a real way, situations with the VA is, one, VA disability compensation. Automatically, that to most people sounds like, well, it's got to be a disability. Most disabilities that you think of are going to be basically injuries that are causing you some sort of a severe impairment. Now, that is not what the VA is talking about, because the VA will rate you for your gastroesophageal reflux disease, your bad heartburn. They'll rate you for your migraines. They'll rate you for your arthritis. They'll rate you for a motor tic that you may have developed during your time in service. So these are things that you might not really consider, quote unquote, disabling or being disabled. High blood pressure even, right? Hypertension. You don't typically think of, well, I have high blood pressure, I'm a disabled veteran. You don't really think of that. So what happens is many of us self-segregate out of just even the opportunity of filing a VA claim. Now, the other one, besides the wording used of disability compensation, the other one that really kind of gets people a little bit hung up is, and this is mostly for people that are going in for a second, they're going in for the second time trying to file claims with the VA, or they're going in for increases, that type of stuff. And that is the 100% rating. You are rated 100%, and in some cases 100% permanent and total. which comes with a whole host of protections and so forth. Well, what happens to folks that don't know what that all entails is we think, well, 100% permanent and total even, well, that sounds to me, I'm no dummy, right? That sounds to me like the worst you can be, and they just kind of wrote you off and said, yep, we're giving you 100 and it's permanent and total and we know where you're at. Thank you for your service. There is nothing higher you can get at other than that 100%, right? Because 100 is 100. Well, that's wrong. So the fact is there's a whole other rating schedule that is reserved for those that have more severe circumstances with regard to their VA disabilities. And that is called special monthly compensation. So the 100% is not really the highest you can get. Special monthly compensation turns into that. So that's important to understand. Why? Because now we understand that, well, you can walk and talk and have your legs and arms and all that and still be able to achieve a 100% rating. For example, in today's world, right now, in this moment, whatever we are, March 24th, but I'm going to push this out tomorrow, the 25th. So March 25th of 2024, gastroesophageal reflux disease can be rated as high as 60%. In May, the new rating schedule takes place, and the highest rating you can get for gastroesophageal reflux disease is 80% by itself, highest rating. You can be rated, in today's world, you can be rated 50% for migraines. Very important rating, right? So you can see that you can get some high ratings, and those ratings, although VA has its funny math, and that's not this video, but VA has its funny math to get you to the 100%. So it becomes percentages of percentages of percentages game. The closer you get, the further you are away almost. But the reality is that you can obtain 100% rating and not be completely disabled in your own definition of what disability or disabled person looks like. Now, the first thing that you need to do once you decide that you need to file a claim is file an intent to file. The easiest way is to contact the VA directly. Call the VA at their, it's a toll-free number and it ends in 1000. I can't remember the prefix, 800 whatever, 1000 number. You can just Google search VA 1000 number and it should pop up. Call the VA, let them know you want to file an intent to file. The intent to file will preserve your effective date if you file your claim within a 12-month period after that intent to file is filed. Meaning that if it takes you the intent to file, then 10 months to file your claim, then 10 months for the VA to decide your claim, you're going to get back paid the 10 months it took the VA to decide your claim, plus the 10 months that you had where you were working, developing your claim for your intent to file. Very important piece of the pie. It allows you to develop your claim. Make sure that you file for a successful claim in 2 ways, and then I'll end this. The 2 ways that you need to think about to file your claim is, 1, you want to get service connected for that condition or conditions, and 2, it'd be great if you got the appropriate rating out the gate. So, number 1, what does it take for a successful service connection? 3 things. You need to have your time in service, gives you that window of opportunity. 2, now look, the window of opportunity is not really taken into account for presumptives. Presumptives are a different beast. Easier pathway. Things that are not presumptives, let's talk about this window of opportunity. Entry date, exit date, window of opportunity, your time of service. 2 is a diagnosed condition. We're all really good at self-diagnosing. Doesn't count. You got to go to a doctor. Let them diagnose you with migraines or GERD or hypertension or back problems, whatever it is. Now you have that diagnosis. That diagnosis must be chronic in nature or have some sort of residual effects. It has to be an ongoing condition. Number 3, you need to have a nexus, a link between the condition and your time in service. Here's where a lot of people mess it up. We tend to think the nexus means solely show me that the military caused this issue, period. That's not what the VA is saying. What the VA is saying with the nexus aspect is essentially Show me that your condition manifested during your time in service or is a result of your time in service. That's the best way that I can kind of, put that in the shortest way possible. So when you think of it in that sense, something manifesting during your time in service is much more broad. Show me that your migraine started when you were in service. Show me that your heartburn started while you were in service, your gastroesophageal reflux disease, right? Show me that your high blood pressure started in service. Again, this is excluding presumptives. Presumptives for Vietnam vets. If you have high blood pressure and you served in a Agent Orange location, you're golden. You don't need to prove nexus with your presumptive condition. Everybody else, you would need to show it. So, during your annual health assessment, they had you doing your blood pressure 15 times because you could never get it below the numbers until finally you were laying down and practically taking a nap. So if any of those bad tests were documented, that's going to help your cause. You want to order your service records. Your service records are ordered with an SF, that's standard form 180. It's half of 360, like you're looking backwards in time, right? Get that ordered. Get your records, thumb through them. You never know what sort of nuggets you'll find in there to tie your current condition back to your time in service. So now you know what you need to get that taken care of to get that service connection. In some cases, people have to go to their doctor, get their nexus letters to help prove the nexus, getting buddy statements or statements from families attesting to knowing that you had first started to experience symptoms of that condition while you were in service. Those are all really important as well. Once you are able to document and get all of that information in for your service connection aspect, you also want to be thinking about, well, should I be rated 10%, 30%, 60%? Where should my rating fall? Well, don't leave it to coin flips. Read the schedule of ratings for your specific condition. You're going to read all the criteria for each applicable rating for that condition. Whatever one that you meet that has the highest rating, right? If I meet all the criteria for 10%, awesome. Read it for the 30. If you meet it all for the 30, great. Move up to the next one. If it happens to be 60, then it's 60. I'm kind of mirroring the GERD current schedule. So that's 60%. If you meet all the criteria for the 60%, you're the patient. You should know if you meet that criteria. If you're not sure what a word is in the schedule of ratings, Google search it. Get the real life definition instead of the medical terminology so you know what they're talking about. Now, if you know what you meet, then take that information verbatim, directly, exactly like it says in the schedule of ratings to your doctor. Have your doctor embed that information into your medical notes as far as your signs and symptoms are concerned. Even better, if they can write you a letter expressing that your condition is static in nature and that you exhibit all of the following symptoms with your whatever the circumstance is, whatever sort of condition you have. If it's GERD, then it's GERD, right? But embed that. Have that information readily available for the VA. Make their job easy for them. Look, my doctor attests, right? Wrote down and signed this stating that I have everything here needed for this rating of whatever it is. That's going to help out a lot. Then take that same information with you to your CNP exam and make sure that you are able to essentially regurgitate it, especially if it's GERD. Haha. So that's kind of my 2 cents. Just wanted to throw this in there just to kind of not waste some time to share a little extra information with you. So thanks again so much for watching. I appreciate you. We will see you Friday the 29th at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time for Friday Live. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.